Hi, very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you to come to Prism's live webinar. Thank you for your time taken for today to spend the next 1 hour with us to know more about what we have brought for everyone here on PeopleCount Solutions. Okay, let's set some guides on today's agendas itself. Okay, what the whole topic is all about. Okay. I'm Terence. I'm the Sales Director of Prism Dynamics. So today I'll be the main speakers to introduce to you the PeopleCount Solutions, okay, together with one of our partners from Philips. So the agendas itself will cover the introduction of Prism Dynamics and Philips PDS. Okay, in short, professional display solutions. Okay, we'll follow about onto the standalone solution on PeopleCount Solutions, which is in another terms, we call it capacity management systems. So how does this actually enhance your business to bring back your customer back to your retail outlets, back to the shopping malls, okay? And that we'll have actually with a live demonstration, okay, to showcase how simple to deploy a standalone solution in your store, okay? Then what are the components that we'll be running through? Okay, throughout this session itself, I believe you have a lot of questions to raise, okay? In terms of how these templates will work, all this, and how these solutions will be beneficial to your business. We'll have a Q&A session at the end of the whole presentation, and followed by the lucky draw session, which we'll host at the end. One lucky winners will actually have a takeaway of one prize of a Philips 43-inch display, professional display sponsored by Philips. Okay. Before we go on, not to worry, all the content, the PowerPoints, everything will be actually compiled and will be uploaded and forwarded to you online or via emails. Okay. So let me actually go through some of the details for the next slide. Okay, a short introduction of Prism Dynamics, who we are and what we are specialized into. Prism Dynamics is actually established in 2013, and our core business actually started off with video switches and processing products. We started off with data path, analog waves, and many other video products in the market. So along the years itself, we have actually been appointed to take up distributions in optics from fibers optics products in Southeast Asian market. So RG Billing have already come on board on the subsequent years together with Evenview and Fieldcast. So last year, we have actually able to bring in together with Philips and Epson on board, okay, for our distribution channel. Specialties from Prism Dynamics over the years have been actually built on top of rental staging platform on the industry. So a lot of our supporters come from different grounds, okay, in the events, in terms of fixed installations for large scales, okay. So we are also involved in some other events, back-end supports in terms of gala nights or events from these National Days events. So these are the equipments that have been used over a period of times, okay? And for Philips, we are proud to be partners as representing distributions in Singapore on professional display solutions. So I will let our partners from this Philips side, Andy Cheng from this representing a regional sales manager to actually do some introduction on his product.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, thank you very much for taking time to join us. I will briefly give you an introduction on Philips. So Philips is a trusted brand name that has been around for more than 125 years. We started making filament products since 1891. Later on, we added TV business into our portfolio, and I must say we did very well for the TV business. In 1984, Philips actually invented the video wall solution. In year 2006, Philips' first commercial display was launched in the market, but during that time, main focus was done over in US and Europe. The APAC presence only started in 2011. But the good thing is that within a very relatively short period of time, we managed to grow our business to become the number 3 in Asia Pacific. This is a range overview of the products that we carry. Q line, our entry level, runs from 16 hours a day. Our D line, which runs 24 hours a day, and is also the first industry product that actually has an Android built in. I will share more on the Android later on. P line is our high performance range. It has a 500 nit and 700 nits for situation where you need higher brightness. I also have a H line, which is our super high brightness, 2005 nit, 3000 nit, again depending on what type of deployment you need. T line is our touch line. Touch line is a direct touch. We don't use overlay for our touch line. X line is our video wall. Video wall, now we are focusing on a 49-inch and a 55-inch. And adding to this range, by end of the year, we will have our LED range, which we will also introduce to the market as well. So coming back to Android, why do we want to have an Android on board? Mainly is to help a software developer to be able to run their software natively on an Android device, so that you don't have to add on a media player in between and reduce the point of failure. Next, I will have a short video to show you the benefit of working with us and the key features of Philips product.
The world we live in today is more connected than ever. And now, thanks to Philips Professional Display Solutions, your business can be too. Meet the first-to-market, all-in-one Android-powered displays by Philips PDS, the most powerful SoC solution on the market. Philips PDS Android displays simplify digital signage deployments, keeping your content crisp and stable without interruptions between video transition. And with a built-in media player, we've removed potential failure points and reduced electrical needs without sacrificing performance. With over 70% of our product range powered by Android, Philips Professional Display Solutions has united superb commercial-grade picture quality and one of the most compatible open-source operating systems available, creating a best-in-class digital signage solution with unmatched reliability and a less than 1% failure rate over the duration of our best-in-class warranty. With the flexibility to run browser-based or native applications, Philips PDS Android displays make software development needs cheaper and easier to source, thanks to a global network of over 2 million Android developers. And because Android is the most widely used operating system around the world, consistent enhancements to the latest security standards keep your content protected and GDPR compliant. Philips PDS Android displays come with scalable internet-connected controls, keeping aesthetics sleek and content manageability simple, whether you're in charge of one screen or 100,000. Combine that with the added peace of mind from failover. You can rest assured your screens are never blank, even when you're not there. Flexible management, scalable control, affordable cost savings, and secure, reliable content assurance. No one else gives you this many options with Android. Philips Professional Display Solutions, powering the new standard in customer experience with Android.
Okay, so I hope the short video gives you a better understanding. But if you do have any inquiries on any of our professional display products, please feel free to talk to us, or even our distributor Prism Dynamics is here to help. So quick recap, Philips is a trusted brand name, offering high-class product that can fit all the need. And then also we provide 3 years warranty on all our products on site that will help all our end users and also help with our resellers as well. So with that, I will end my session. I will pass the session back to Terence. We will run through with you the PeopleCount solution. Terence.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Okay, I'm sure Andy has actually done a good presentation of what Philips PDA is all about. I believe some of the users, some of the attendees here have been loyal fans of our Philips products, okay, besides display. And during this COVID-19, our circuit breakers, I believe most of us have been actually working from home or have stopped work for quite some time. So we are right now in the phase 2, okay, of a reopening of our economy. So question asked by a lot of business owners, how can I bring back my customer? And especially those who are actually running in operating retail business, okay, how are you actually going to revive your business during this pandemic period? We know this pandemic is not going to end so soon, and whether the vaccine is going to be out in the near future, it's going to be a mid to long-term situation that we need to actually conduct for having safety measures in every places that we go. I would say right down the new norms is going to be a social distancing, okay, having a mask, sterilizing your hands everywhere you go to, and trying to keep small group of social gathering. So, but coming to business point of view is that how am I going to revive my business? Okay, big part of our retail business may be affected due to the control in terms of number of people able to actually to come into your places. Okay, workplace is one example. For large corporation, I think you have a staggered working hours or anything like this. But coming to retail is something that you can't plan to actually get your customer to come at the fixed time, unless it's a dental service or other things like predetermined schedules, appointments. But in a retail outlets, okay, or shopping malls, we are looking at a time whereby maybe it's a peak hour for grocery shoppings in the supermarkets. So how am I actually going to manage the crowd control? Is there really a control to manage in my store to ensure safety, not just for your customer, but also for your employees, okay? Because that will also be part of your operation cost, okay? So we are fortunate that Philips and Bosch came together in a collaboration to actually develop this solution, what we call PeopleCount, okay, in short. Okay? So let me go through the details in a while, but before we proceed on to that, I would like to show you a short video of what we have implemented in a flagship outlet from H&M. All right, okay. That's a short video that we actually have posted online, okay, under Philips in UK side. It's actually implementations, okay, on the flagship store from H&M. They actually take the lead to install a PeopleCount solution to create a safe environment for their customers, at the same time for their employees. So the new norms right now, like I mentioned, safe entry. So everywhere you go, there is safe entry that we are actually ensuring that you have a safe entry, there is also a safe exit. But do you notice that when more people start doing safe entry, but there are lesser people doing exit, okay, checkout, okay? So that does not really reflect a real-time number of capacity that is actually occupying the indoor premises or outdoor enclosed area, we say enclosed area. So do we really maintain social distancing within the outlet? Chances is that it's not, because we see some of the big outlets or factory outlets right now is actually coming up with long queue, okay, queuing up to go for shoppers, okay, and within that itself, they are trying to control the number of people within it. They have to station someone to manage this count for entry and for exit, okay. So this is a labor cost that we are looking into, and when we talk about long terms, it's probably going to last us for the next 1 year. So instead of having our staff, sales staff, having it to operate at the entrance, okay, we can relieve them, okay, to attend to customer better in the shop front. Okay, so the solutions actually comes in a very simple way, which is a standalone solution that do not require you to integrate to your existing infrastructure. Okay, meaning simply we do not require internet connection. It can be deployed anywhere on the walkway between the entrance or even outside the shopping mall's entrance. Okay, and it can be also deployed into areas of, I would say, events, impromptu events that maybe there is events that you want to control the number of people entering to do some collection or redemptions. Okay, you can do that. Okay, so what do you need in this solution? Okay, basically, what Andy had mentioned, why Philips have an Android built into their display. This is to allow the application to be installed onto the display so that it can actually do its purpose for displaying the notifications. And also at the same time to remind customer, hey, I'm actually, there's a queue in front of you, please hold on and wait for your turn. So reminders can be put on top of that. But on top of all this, what can this display do, or what can PeopleCount do? You can actually have your marketing content, okay, displayed into the monitor so that you can actually do some marketing while the customers are waiting for their turn to enter the premises. So on the photo in the PowerPoint right now that you see, this is one of the local implementation that we recently done up. It's actually a furnishing mall, okay? So I will go in detail exactly what we have done for them, okay? So question I ask is, standalone, does that mean it's going to be just a single entry and exit solution? No, basically this solution is scalable, is flexible enough to actually to do it for even larger, okay, requirements in terms of multi-entrance, multi-exit. Okay, so let me just show you in terms of the standalone solutions, what kind of components do we require. Okay, in the video, it also reflects Bosch camera is one of the main components. Why do we need that? Okay, basically, Bosch cameras comes with a video analytical features. Okay, in short, EVA or IVA. So these features itself will allow us to do tracking in terms of traffic, in terms of counting, to initiate the event, to trigger, to reflect onto the display through the APK solution that we will provide into these solutions. Okay, like I mentioned, the cameras itself is actually powered through over Ethernet, which you either require a PoE switch or you have a power injector. Okay, this portion will take care of all the installations under one single package. Okay, the key thing that we need to run this application will be provided in a USB thumb drive. Okay, that USB thumb drive will come with an APK to be installed onto the screen, okay? And it will be run automatically, okay? On top of that, we will also provide initial templates based on the user contents. We can actually design the layout, okay, in terms of your marketing layout, your notification warning signs, okay, onto the screen so that it can actually be personalized to your outlets, okay, visual effects itself, okay. So what do we need on a display portion is a D-line or a Q series, okay. The key difference between these two models is how, as Andy had mentioned, we have range of different products. A D-line series is actually more to cater for a 24-hour/7 operation use. Okay, you probably actually with maybe even airports or those outlets that are running more than 12 hours of operation, they will be recommended to utilize such products. Okay, for a Q series, based on the current retail operation hours, you are looking probably at about 10 hours operation, and our Q series is able to actually operate at 16/7 hours, okay, 16/7. So this will be the main component that is required to operate as a single standalone solutions, okay? So let's take a look at the schematic in terms of how this thing will be linked up, okay? You look at the UTP connections, okay, there is actually 3 network cables, okay, to be laid. One is to the router, to the camera. The other one is actually to the display. And we have one more connection, is more to our laptop to do a initial configuration or even for future updates in terms of firmware whenever we need for the cameras and for the display. Okay, so the thumb drive will always be there after we implement this solution. The thumb drive will basically be holding the content of what you want to show on the screen from there. Okay, this whole system will be automated throughout the whole day. Okay, of course you can set a timer to shut down every equipment at the end of the operation hour. So the next day itself, it will power up, okay, and you will go to the mode, okay, and reset the counter to the number 0 to start off for the day. Okay, how many can we set, okay, for capacity? In actual fact, it's flexible enough. Why? For some outlets, they probably have a human traffic flow customer every day looking at about, I would say, maybe 500, okay, and I want to actually set at a threshold of 400. Okay, so we have different template layouts to actually meet your requirement. In total, there is about 5, okay, but in terms of orientation, in terms of presentation layout, okay, I will share with you some of the interesting one that we would say that most users are looking into. Okay, so let's take a look over here. Okay, then next, as I mentioned, there might be cases whereby I have a big display, but I have multiple entrants, okay, and I want to actually make sure that the entrance and exit itself are capturing the right numbers in and out, okay. So for maybe a standalone building or a shopping mall, okay, right now we are looking into main entrance, and the one that is nearer to it will be the car park and also the loading bay. So this is to allow more avenue of access to the building. But the in and out itself, in terms of the numbers itself, can be combined together or as individual. Meaning every exit point or entry point, you can have your own number counting, or we can program it in this way that the total number of the whole building will be take into consideration as a number of people that is entering and exiting. So all the updates can be updates to this single display, okay? So for people who are actually having operating malls and buildings, okay, I believe we are looking forward for phase 3 reopen, okay? But exactly when, we don't know, but we just need to equip ourselves ready to fight this war, okay? Why? Once you have more entry open, meaning are we going to deploy more people to ensure that, okay, that the flow is going smoothly, the queue itself is not piling up for a long queue. Okay, we can see from here, most of the time, okay, people tend to come to the nearest exit from MRT to the main entrance. So what happened? You start having a long queue over there whereby the rest of the entrance and exit itself do not have any visitors or shoppers coming through. So once if you set the main entrance to reach the maximum capacity, actually the rest, you can divert the traffic to other entrance and exit. So it helps to actually to circulate the traffic flow, okay, while entering or exit, okay. Of course, we can't control people from exiting the building, but the entering portion will actually determine how you manage your shoppers to go around your shopping malls. I believe that will help to channel some business and retail presence to a lot of people, okay? Because even in the shopping malls, I noticed sometimes the escalator does change reverse direction so that it can circulate the traffic flow, okay? So this is how we can do that. And looking at the display over here, we can have different layout to deploy in the same network, up to 20 display and 80 cameras. Okay, in details, how exactly this will work itself, we can share to you on a personal level where how this thing can perform for you based on your needs. Because I believe right now, to implement such a skill set itself is still very minimum requirement because of our phase 2 control right now. And the number of people are slowly growing back. So once we are reaching that level, I will say this demand for more display and more control will be in needs. So more people will be actually asking is that, can I deploy it now, but then what happened after this COVID? After that is what can I do with all this display, what this camera? Actually, these are very flexible. We can actually redeploy it subsequently into security, CCTV, or we can actually use the display to deploy into your outlet indoor for marketing presence, okay? Because itself is a digital signage solution. So in terms of able to reuse the inventory itself, I would say you do not go into waste on these investments, okay? So we shall talk more into live presentations, exactly how this thing will work, okay, in here today, and we will need some assistance. So the display portion down there, like I mentioned, there is different template that we have actually done up. In total, there is about 5. So who will be the ideal user for certain outlets, certain display? That very much depending on your store concept, okay? So as a Singaporean, we are always so used to having queuing. And I would say when you see this traffic light notification, does that represent anything to you? While you're driving or you're crossing the traffic light, we know that, okay, red is you have to stop, green, you have to move on. Okay, at the same time, on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side itself, you can actually indicate, okay, your messages, your advertising contents to remind user to keep distancing apart so that they do not crowd together to ensure social distancing. So you can also remind people to actually to sanitize your hand before you do a check-in from there. So in this example, I would say the common displays itself will be red and green. There is no other indication needed to showcase, okay? So for this, it's a layout that for a shop front whereby maybe it's a bit narrow in passageway or you only have a door entrance and you want to implement such solutions, we recommend a portrait display instead of a landscape display, which will not take up the width of your whole entrance door. So you can actually place it in the middle, like the video that we have shown in the very first beginning when we see H&M have an outlet whereby they have two entrance and exit they actually point out from. We can put the safe entry display in terms of QR code to be there on the screen, so the visitor can also do a scanning to do a safe entry check-in first before they enter it. So when we do not allow any more entry itself. We actually show a stop sign where the QR code itself will not be shown. Okay, that's also help to stop people from entering. Okay, but of course, it's something that we are actually taking some time to educate, to get used to it, to these new norms of practice. Okay, so that will help make it more successful when everyone start cooperating. Okay, so the first one is actually a 50% upwards on the top portion where they show you the notification content. The bottom portion will be the customer count. So the next one will be a full content, which will show you a go or no go. Okay, reason for this one will be more for like really a regulation traffic in terms of like interchange. Okay, you don't want to be overcrowded in the interchange during a peak hour time. Of course, for cases whereby house of worships, okay, the house of worship itself, there will be a time whereby people are coming in based on your convenient times that they want to come in for their session. And you basically don't have marketing content to show. You just want to regulate the flow in terms of capacity that is housed inside one premises. So you can control that, okay, to set a limit until the whole session ends, people can start exiting from there, okay. So on the right side, you will see the effect of this, how exactly these whole things will work from there, okay. So we have a live example that have been installed recently that I mentioned is in Singapore. This is one of the furnishing shops that we actually have, they have engaged us to do a installation for them because what they are facing, the issue they are facing is that they can't time that people are coming in groups, in 2, in 5, coming to view their furnishing outlet, okay? So usually they have a 60% capacity during the normal times. But again, during these circuit breakers, they have to limit the number of people in the outlet. This is to ensure a safe environment for everyone and including their customers. Because you know the nature of going into a shopping outlets, especially furniture, you tend to move around, touch a bit, sit down, all this. You will need them to do some sanitizing also after this group of customers went out, and also to make sure that they have enough people to actually to guide them around the different segment of the showroom. So this will also help them to actually give a better service support to ensure the customer really are being guided through the whole compound. Because if we actually have an open way of touring around, then I think they won't have enough time to go and sanitize everything from there. All right. So they actually set up to a 20% capacity. If you notice on the walkway itself is kind of narrow, but we actually have proposed them a mobile solution instead of a fixed installation in this case. So the customer will actually walk through, okay, where the guided line on the floor, which actually will tell them, say, you have to keep a 1 meter distance for queuing up. So when they reach the display, there is a QR code notice, okay, for a safe entry to scan in, to check in. So at the same time, they will also reflect the number of people on top. So you see the top right, left in the middle, there is a number indicator. This is one of the templates that we have. They will show the number that is available, entering, and the total allowed capacity. So once you actually reach the level, we will actually stop, okay, on the bottom display, 20 head count, they will stop. There's no more QR code scanning for safe entry. They basically just show a QR code for their website link so that the person who is going to wait there start queuing. They can start surfing the internet during this time while they wait for the next person to exit and then to enter, okay? So saying so much, I think seeing the live example will actually count better to help you understand exactly how this counter works. Okay, before I actually do that, let's take a look what is a setup today in the studio down here. Okay, I actually have set up a 50-50 layout template, one camera display. We have a 49-inch display on a P series, which is a portrait layout. So a camera that is right now facing me and a network switch. So I will need Andy's assistant later to actually help me to simulate this whole scenario, okay? So before we start doing, Okay, let's see the display over here that you can see. This is actually a Bosch configuration manager that we are looking into right now. Exactly what I have set over here. Okay, the camera is right now facing right in front of me. Okay, this definitely not a perfect installation angle for the camera, because I think the camera need to be in a bird eye view so that it will actually able to capture a better calculation in terms of counting. So these two lines are the trigger, okay, that trigger the events for entry and exit. I have reset this to 0, okay, and on my left side down here, okay, on my left side down here, you will actually have a display down here. Okay, in actual fact, I have actually set a counter to 9 right now. Okay, meaning there is a 9% capacity in the outlets. Okay, at the same time, I'm going to simulate to you how exactly this trigger works and how the display will show when a visitor just walk into an outlet. Okay, so before that is how I believe. Okay, Andy will have to simulate to me is that he's already done his safe entry QR code scanning. Okay, and he's with a mask today. Okay, so Andy, can I just get you to actually to move into the scene to cross the line? So notice the screen, the moment Andy crossed this level here, okay, a line trigger in red itself has started to actually to count it as one entrance. Okay, and instantly you see there is a reflection real time that the display have actually reached a 10% capacity and it actually stop there, okay? So the next person in line itself will have to stop at the queue line entrance down there to wait for this to come in. So Andy, can you make a turn to exit after your shopping? Okay. You see, that's where, because Andy had been actually standing at the position where he did not, okay, capture in the active zone from there. So can we do it one more time, Andy? Like I mentioned, this is not the perfect angle. So Andy, please. Okay, and then move again, and then you turn around, and you wait for a while for the sign. Okay, please exit again. No? Okay, I think that counts because of this portion down here, like I mentioned. Okay, you see, because there is a lot of interactions going on, okay, capturing the impact of it. Okay, while I'm standing there, you notice there is a lot of tracking over there. So usually we will not go into the side view. So when I actually enter, see, because this entrance is always clear, okay, of traffic. So when I enter it again, it's an instant capture, which is why it needs to be a right position where it's supposed to be entered into. So nevertheless, this simulate where this counter we need to fine tune when we need. Okay, so when we have this issue, which Andy have actually simulated, okay, I will say is that this remote control comes in use. Okay, this remote control. Okay, why? This remote control will allow you to actually do a counter. Okay, a counter by actually having it to be able to do a increase counter, okay, or decrease counter. Okay, this is to actually allow you to actually fine tune in case a father and a doctor walk in together with two persons coming in, okay, or the husband and wife hug together and come into the outlet. So this will actually be able to adjust, but I would say there is different scenario that we are looking into, but this is the case whereby we want to actually make sure that the counter is actually updating at the correct numbers. So the calibration requires a technical person to be good enough to actually to calibrate and make sure that the angle actually do not have any missing area that they capture. You notice we'll go in details into how the software actually capture. Okay. Okay, this is the environment for the Bosch configuration manager. Okay, so basically that's where all the track lines actually have been set up. So in actual fact, this is supposed to be a top view, okay? So when I move through this trigger line here, these alarms events will be triggered, okay? And I'm actually sending into a display which is beside me right now, which is the one that you have seen. That will actually be an IP address that is actually taking up the instruction to increase the counter or reduce the counter. Okay, so that automate the whole solutions from there. So how am I going to actually to get these solutions to actually go into multiple display? All I need is to update the different IP address of the scripts over here, which we have a simple script over here. Okay, this is only for a single entry. Of course, these scriptings will get more complex when we start moving into multiple display, multiple screen. Okay, this is to make sure that the performance, the delay is not there. It's making sure that everything update is going to be real time. Okay, so this portion down there, I would say is a software from Bosch, and they have been updating it timely. I have a series of cameras set up over here, so I can actually manage on this dashboard here with multiple cameras and controls. So I can view from a PC base, okay, to see all the traffic flow in the maybe in the operation room. If I'm actually in the shopping malls command center, I can actually view from here. I can see all this, okay. So it makes it more user friendly. The learning curve to actually to operate this machine is very simple. Okay, for the end user who need to actually to do this updating of content, we will guide you through a proper training session when we actually deliver the solutions. Okay, so we shall actually move on to the next one. That's the end of my presentation for your live demo. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, there is a series of products that is required in these PeopleCount solutions. Okay, meaning you can't use a Philips display, okay, a consumer display also with an Android to run on this. You need a commercial display to run these solutions. Okay, so and this will be the series that we have actually identified that the list of items in terms of Q series, in terms of P series or D series is supporting for this solution, right?
Yeah, because mainly what we require is to have the professional displays that has the Android operating system on board to run this solution.
Okay, so for Bosch camera, like I said, Bosch have a very good product, innovative products on cameras all along. Okay, we know the fact that they have been one of the leading players in the market for securities. Okay, so not just doing people counting in terms of traffic monitoring for highways, all this. So in this series itself, we have 3,000 to 8,000 series of cameras which cater for indoor, outdoor needs in terms of focal point. Okay, in terms of focus point, in terms of I would say the clarity in terms of your resolutions. So that affect in terms of where the PeopleCount is going to be taking, how good is this. As of now, whatever we actually have been deployed all along is actually starting from a 3,000 series. Okay, and for retail outlets, because of the height difference, we need a minimum clearance height about 2.3 meter height. So that will actually give you a good view of capturing for the traffic. Okay, so Bosch camera come, like I mentioned, they actually come with a EVA, essential video analytics. That is the event that identify a human figures. Okay, where we cross the line from there. Okay, so that will be roughly what we are presenting for the whole PeopleCount solutions. We will actually move on. Okay, to the next one on the Q&A sessions. Okay, so I believe a lot of people will have questions to raise up from here. Okay, so let's take a look on the chat group. Okay. Okay, Andy, I have one question from here, okay, in terms of deployments, in terms of this kind of solution, roughly what is the requirements in terms of the numbers for the cameras that can go up to? So just like I mentioned, it's going to be up to 80 cameras from there.
Yeah.
So display-wise itself, is it limited to 20?
Well, for this solution itself, currently what we are focusing on is providing a solution for an immediate problem that we are all facing right now. We have a wide range. It will all depends on the installation site, on how many entrants they have and how many displays, how many cameras is required. So I would say it will depend on the scale that will be required, and then also how in-depth the monitoring will be. We do have different solutions catered for based on the requirement.
Understand.
Yeah. So it will be more on a. I would still encourage you all to talk to us. We will sit down and discuss and see what kind of requirement you need. We will propose the best solution for you.
Okay, we have a next question posed by Mr. Sun. He is asking about any actual demo that he can take a look or try out. Yes, I would say we have solutions right now. Like I mentioned, Lush is one of the first deployments right now have been done up. We can bring you along to the actual site to actually take a look at the solutions. Or you can always visit us at these showrooms, okay? At our office down there to further discuss what is your client's requirement. So I believe everyone will have their own needs, and these requirements will more to tailor to your outlets. Like I mentioned, you may have 2 entrants you want to monitor on both sides as standalone, or you want to actually monitor it as an overall. So we can actually work on this level. So definitely we need to do a site survey at the actual location so that to better advise the end customer exactly what do you require, okay, and what is not necessary. So because the scalability is there. So more important that you understand how this whole solutions work to benefit you. Okay, there is someone who is asking on the display, if they have an existing Philips display, which is also an Android-based, can they use it?
Yes, of course. If you already have an existing display, all right, you will be able to plug into this solution. So we will talk to our partners, our resellers. They will be able to assist you. So just require the switches, the cameras, and then you are able to deploy already.
For that, I need to make up a bit there. For existing display, I would say is that because there is a version requirement in the Android built-in. So if your display is somehow a bit too long, I would say maybe the Android version is lower than version 5, then unfortunately it will not be able to support the software. Okay, so that you have to check out on the systems itself on the display whether you fulfill the minimum requirement for this case. Okay, so the portion in terms of we have another question coming in. Other than monitoring, can the system add in temperature measurements? So that portion will be from a capturing point in terms of the camera side, I would say.
The temperature
monitoring.
Temperature monitoring.
Yes.
Okay. So for us, I feel because of this, since the COVID-19 started, I think a lot of thermal scanners, checking temperatures, systems are already out there in the market. All right. So for us, again, this is an out-of-the-box solution to solve an immediate problem on crowd control. Okay, which is easily you can redeploy after the COVID blows over. All right. So at this point in time, based on the basic PeopleCount solution, there's no temperature scanning. But I believe if, let's say, we want to add on, there are ways, there are software, there are cameras that we can add on to that. to our existing basic PeopleCount solution.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Andy, for taking up the questions. So I think we are wrapping up the last question before we move on to our contacts, who will be the point of contacts that you need to go for. So a lot of people will be interested to know what are the services that we are covering for these solutions. So let's move on to the portions, okay, because the rest of the question will actually compile, and because there are some repeated questions that is actually posted here, we'll look into this area and post it up, okay, online, and to share with you what are the inquiries that other people have posted up, okay? So we shall move on ourselves onto lucky draw sessions, okay, to wrap up for the day, okay. Before that itself, I think our colleagues actually have prepared a lucky draw bowl with all the registry, all the attendees actually have taken up. So we have to thank Andy for sponsoring 43-inch, okay, Philips commercial displays for this lucky winner.
Yes. So I'll begin the draw.
So, but the condition, okay, for this one is you got to be online. Stay tuned. If the names have been called and you are not online to reflect that you are here, so we'll pass on to the next one.
Yes.
I mean, that's to be fair for the person who attend this webinar, okay?
Okay, so...
Is it going to be me?
No, your name is not inside. You are not eligible.
Okay, logistic-wise itself, we have to arrange, because it's not going to be a portable unit.
Okay, so we have Sun Chibut, E&E Private Limited.
Sun Chibun. Oh, one of our Chibun have actually shown on the he's still online. Okay,
good.
Great. Thank you for supporting the events.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah. So you got to pay us a visit or to come to our showroom down here to take a look of the demo solution on the PeopleCount, at the same time to collect your present, okay, provided by Philips, okay. So thank you for attending these events. I want to wrap up the whole session for the final one, which we will need to know after knowing the solutions, the benefits of this solution. The context is the most important portion. Okay, who are you going to contact? And our contact is listed here. Okay, if you have inquiries, okay, to know more about the package, the price, which will be posted out later after this webinar online, we'll share with you what is the package like, what is included, and for resellers who are interested to take up to market this solution and package to your corporate clients, to your end user, I will welcome you to actually talk to our salesperson here in details. We will walk through with you in full details of trainings, how to implement the solutions. Okay, so Andy, I believe there will be people asking about how fast can we deliver these solutions. Okay, because we don't know when phase 3 is going to be out, and the way how we actually know is that if you are able to provide us the content, okay, we were able to generate our initial template, everything for the user, and deliver within. And I would say the installation will probably take about 4 hours if we do not require any physical installation or drilling or other things. So it is actually a ready solution to deliver anytime. Okay, so displays are already installed, cameras are already installed. So we'll wait for your inquiry.
Yeah. So I think the main thing here is that the solution is scalable. So talk to us. Let us work together with you to find out your requirement, and then with the channels that we have, we'll be able to give you a good recommendation of the solution to run.
All right. Thank you for the time, and Andy, thank you for your time here with us. And we look forward for the next webinar in the next 1 month. And if you have any inquiries, stay tuned to our LinkedIn, our Facebook, updates, and the whole webinar will be wrapped up with the PowerPoint slide to be shared to you. Okay, thank you, guys. Stay safe.